dive a little deeper here. It's a little bit of pass versus rush when you look at the offenses. Clef's so good running that football.
Yeah, and you know, we honestly seen Crush go to some uncharacteristic things. He was trying to run the ball in that first matchup versus Boogs, end up costing him a win. But Clef, I expect to see a very balanced attack from Clef. You know, he considers himself one of the dotters, you know, one of the quote-unquote real ones that's going to air it out no matter what. But as you can see right there, he's not afraid to run the ball as well. So I think this is a key factor of the game. Will Crush be able to stop the run?
Crush is a little bit on the cusp here. Almost broken out in the community, not quite over the hump yet.
You know, it's somebody that everybody knows, but, you know, you haven't really expected him to make that deep run yet because he just hasn't made it yet. You know, he hasn't done it yet. So, you know, but he still has $32,000 in career earnings. That's saying something. You know, he's made some runs in these tournaments. He just hasn't made it to the Final Four, to the finals. You know, this could be the tournament he gets it done.
Defense has not been his strong suit, but he does have Dion back there. Got two Dions, actually. One at linebacker as well, has made some big plays for him. Loves that Tyreek Hill, as everybody does.
Yeah, that Deion Jones and that Deion Sanders. Both those Deons are the best at their position. Deion Jones, the very best middle linebacker in the game. Deion Sanders, the very best cornerback in the game.
And as for Clef, as we scout things out, and points-wise, in good shape.
Yeah, he's going to be in decent shape, win or lose this game. He just needs some things to go his way, but look at that ladder record, 50-9. Look at that, top 3 in both offensive and defensive rank coming into this tournament. He's going to be as prepared as anybody.
The way he's stacked his roster, what do you like?
I love everything about his roster. Other than that quarterback, Jameis Winston, we've seen him make some errant throws for him. But that Leighton Vander Esch, one of the best linebackers you can get in that round. Jair Alexander, Deion Sanders, Tyreek Hill, all very, very, very huge parts of this game. And they're going to be making plays for Clef all game.
He wasn't not going to take Jameis Winston when that was made available. How can a guy who grew up loving the Bucks not use Jameis Winston?
Trust me, if he would have had even a slightly better option, that would have been thrown out the window.
There's going to be defense first with those Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Chargers. That's what Crush is going with. He's from the San Diego area. So here's the breakdown, just to remind you of what's at stake here. 200 available points, as we'll be getting there, the 50 points in the quarterfinals. Winner get-in situation for both of these men.
And, you know, if you're Clef, you love to start on defense versus Crush. You know, Crush has made some questionable reads throughout the process of this tournament. He's going to have to lock in. If Crush is able to get 7 on his first drive, it would be a huge confidence boost, allow him to kind of lock in and force Clef to speed up his game a bit.
21-year-old Douglas Thiel is Crush. And you look at Clef over there, Dwayne Wood, although he says nobody's ever called him Dwayne. He's been Clef since he can remember.
And, you know, I actually talked to Crush, and he said this is a matchup he likes. You know, he said out of the players remaining in this tournament, this is the matchup I'd like. I wouldn't want to play Henry or Joke, so I'm happy with having to play Clef in this top 8 matchup.
Henry and Joke coming up. We got a stacked day here today. Going to be a fun day of Madden, eventually handing out a belt when we are done later tonight.
And, you know, Clef running this big dime defense. I'd honestly like to see Crush audible around a bit, maybe run the ball. Looks like that's what he's going to do out of this gun doubles formation.
Deebo Samuel in motion there, the exciting rookie out of South Carolina. Got a big game, I hear, tomorrow. Drake will slither upfield with it, pick up 7.
And I honestly, if Clef is going to run that 2-3-6 will, I expect Crush to try to attack the run a lot in this game. Clef's going to be running this cover 3 cloud defense, which is very difficult to pass out of if you're in gun bunch. So if you're at home, go ahead and call that cover 3 cloud out of that big dime versus these weekend league players, because they are going to struggle passing the ball versus it.
Baker Mayfield looking. Could have run for the first down. Instead, he zings it to Marvin Harrison. Move those chains. Marvin Harrison.
Very confident throw there by Crush. You know, that is a play, you know, I was a little bit worried about coming into this game. Will Crush still be able to make those plays, step up in the pocket, throw that laser? You know, a lot of players like myself probably are just going to scramble. That would be the first thing I see. I would have just scrambled for the 3 yards. Not Crush. He's going to pick up an extra 25 right there. Huge play there by Crush. Almost in field goal range already.
Crush back for a second bite of the apple here at the Madden Challenge. Looking to go forward to the Madden Bowl. course, the way it's formatted here, if you're in the finals, if you're 1 or 2 here, you go. Otherwise, you lean on points to advance. And there's Drake, who gets smoked. D Ford came up and hit him.
And, you know, I don't mind Crush going to the run, but you don't want to make it so obvious you're running. You know, Clef knew 1,000% that Crush was going to run that inside zone right there. You know, motioning the wide receiver in to block, the same exact look he already gave him in this game. You know, you got to mix it up a little bit. Keep Clef off balance.
Crush, having found a way against Rage, had to rally to get there. Used Tyreek Hill with a couple of late touchdowns. Steady dose of Kenyon Drake so far, and he runs with Drake again as Clef listens to Drake in those headsets. He tells us that's his choice.
And that was so close to being a big play for Crush, but Leighton Vander Esch making a huge play early on in this game. If he would have got just chipped, he didn't even have to get held there for very long. If he would have just got chipped, that may have been a touchdown out there for Kenyon Drake.
You grab those linebackers in the draft, that's important. Both those players have said that when we talked to him.
I don't like this route combo at all for Crush.
On a 3rd and 7, he's got a Harrison on B if he can get it, but Mayfield goes down. D Ford found him again.
Yeah, I didn't love that look at all for Crush. He kind of played scared right there. Although in that 2nd down, he did have an opportunity for a huge gain, but that route combination on 3rd down, you know, I think if he thinks twice about that, he knows it's not going to work because he knows the defense Clef's running, and that cover 3 cloud is going to have some vert hooks. That's just not going to allow that wheel route to get open. Very questionable play call there by Crush.
Tressway to punt it away, and you want to keep it away from a couple of good return men, Sanders and Hill, both at the employ of Clef. And we'll get our first look at what he does offensively. He used a lot of inside zone, some deep alt crossing plays too yesterday when he was moving forward to get here.
Yeah, Clef is a player that's going to take what you give him no matter what. He's, you know, he doesn't have too much pride. He's going to, trust me, this kid is the real deal, man. He's somebody that we're going to see on this circuit for a long time, and he is going to be a belt winner at some point. The only question is when.
Remember, he played some football himself, did Clef. Worked as a running backs coach, junior varsity coach at New Smyrna Beach High School. Took a break last year and this year to focus on Madden. His dad is the offensive coordinator at DeLanda High School in Florida. Snap is his pop's name. Sounds like breakfast cereal here, Snap and Pops, for the DeLand Bulldogs, where Trey Thomas went, the great Eagles offensive lineman. And Clef himself went on to play at Fullerton College, Benedictine College in Kansas, so he knows his football because he's played some football. Now he's funneled that here into the Madden community. Running with Freeman, Devontae Freeman gets belted by Derwin James, but that's a healthy gain of 9.
Yeah, you know, Devontae Freeman actually has some of the lowest carrying out of all the running backs you can draft, so you don't want to be taking too many hit sticks from Derwin James right there.
No, Devontae's good for the wheel routes, right, and some table routes. But it's funny because we've talked about looking to actually run the ball, and there's a little flare to Andre Reed with a spin, and he's got the first down. I was surprised, Mo, when you looked at the draft of Clef, and that's a weird draft for a guy who likes to run so much to only grab Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just got to take what they give you. A lot of these guys, they want to draft one of those wide receivers in that legend offensive round, that very last offensive pick you can make, just because those wide receivers are so much better than all the other wide receivers in the draft pool.
Late first quarter, and Freeman able to bounce and spin. Oh, and he slithers free.
Give me the fluke.
Devontae Freeman, one more cut.
Get sticky.
Devontae Freeman, touchdown, 63 yards.
And that's a very fortunate play for Clef early on in this game. But at the end, he did get very sticky right there. But if you're Crush, you know, that can just not happen. That's Deion Jones. He broke off that tackle in the backfield.
He's not built for this.
So much for just use him on wheel routes and table routes. Devontae Freeman looked like CJ2K right there.
Yeah, breaking a few tackles in the backfield. Extremely fortunate play there for Clef, but that's what you need to happen to go on and win one of these belts.
A Snickers replay, and you know, the Falcons guy for a Buccaneers uniform. That's weird, but it'll work.
Yeah, and I cannot believe Deion Jones blew that tackle in the backfield. You know, that if you draft Deion Jones, you're expecting him to make every single play that's out there for him, and he just blew one right there.
Baker Mayfield. It pinballs to Deion. He runs right into his own forest here. A bunch of those orange jerseys, and now Sanders high-stepping it. Look at Dion breaking tackles.
Prime time, baby! Prime
A
time!
primetime giggle fest for Clef.
You know, that was one of the more interesting plays we're probably going to see throughout this day. I don't know how that pass got picked off. You know, one of the best wide receivers in the game just drops the ball for Crush, and Clef gets it in Deion Sanders' hands. He's hard to tackle.
Well, Dion was never known for being a guy who was in on a tackle. He was surrounded by his own teammates looking like they wanted to tackle him there. But he stepped out of a pack and he went all the way.
Get another stop.
A really unfortunate start to this game for Crush. And this is going to be a tough uphill battle. You know, it's very hard to be down 2 possessions in this game.
Look at this pinball around twice to Dion, and then it's like watching 5th grade soccer here. Everybody just collapses on the ball.
Yeah, Deion Sanders was just floating in the air. You know, he just wouldn't come down, and then when he does, he's got a wide open lane.
Here's your Snickers replay. Glitchy indeed. Drake with a little bit of burst here. Oh, he needed that. Kenyon Drake on full gallop. Kenyon Drake helps out Crush in a big way.
And you know, Crush says stop letting him get lucky. And he's not wrong. Clef has gotten extremely lucky to start this game, but you may have already dug yourself in a hole too deep. You know, Clef is up by 7 with the ball, and he's going to be getting it at half. You got to stand up for yourself right here if you're Crush.
You talk about an absolutely necessary return volley right there. It happened so quickly, your Snickers replay.
And you know, I love that Crush didn't just go right back to that gun bunch, showing a little patience there. Even though he's down 2 possessions, he goes to the run game. I love it.
So now Jameis Winston underneath, finding Andre Reed, and he gets leveled right away. What a start we've had to this one.
Oh man, this has been a lightning fast start. We haven't seen 21 points in a quarter in quite some time. And if you're Clef, you're feeling extremely comfortable right now. You know, the game has kind of went Clef's way so far. But if Crush is able to step up for himself and make one defensive play, get a turnover, he's going to be right back into this game.
I would think right now it's all about, for both players, just kind of deep exhale, right? A nice cleansing breath, because a lot of weird stuff went down.
This is the biggest drive of the game. If Clef is able to get points on this drive, it's going to be very difficult for Crush going forward.
Jameis Winston is lowered back at the 20-yard line.
And this is a huge down. I know Crush said if I can get him into 100% passing situations, I got a really good defense for him. He watched Joke and Little Man play against this formation, and they played phenomenal on defense, and I think Crush will be going to that right here on 3rd down. And nope, he's going to stick with that. He's going to stick with that big nickel, depending on a block shed kind of right here. Watch for this crosser to Tyreek Hill.
Aaron Donald's already been in there quite recently, and now a 3rd and 12 opportunity for somebody on defense to step up for Crush. Back goes Jameis Winston. Can he stand and deliver here? He can run it. He'll slide a little short to bring up a makeable 4th down, but you're deep in your own territory.
And that was another fortunate play for Clef right there. He kind of had a bunch of defenders around him and just snuck out the pack. And you know, from what I'm seeing from Clef, he's setting up his punt to run a fake punt sweep right here. I think he put his starting running back in. You know, be careful right here. We could see a fake.
Run a fake. Fake it.
And Crush says he's ready for it. Now Dixon steps right into it instead. And Deion Sanders has already been in the end zone for Clef. Lets this one fly away for Crush. And
that's huge if you're Crush. You completely stood up for yourself. Phenomenal defense right there, and you got yourself right back into this game. Now you just need to go down and get 7.
Now, Crush doesn't usually rush. I know it rhymes and it should work, but about 34 yards a game on the online ladder play. Drake takes a big hit, but already, remember, Drake has broken through once.
Yeah, and I think Crush sees something in this defense. He sees something he likes, and I think he's going to be trying to attack this run game a little bit more than we expected.
Speed and power with this Kenyon Drake, a 92 rating. But nothing there, though. He gets buried by D. Ford, having a big game here for Clef.
And if you're Crush, you just can't turn the ball over right here. You know, you may get stopped, you may have to punt, but you absolutely cannot turn the ball over in your own territory right here.
Big picture, big things on the line. $10,000 first of all, but also securing a trip to Madden Bowl.
Look for Deebo Samuel on this corner route. I don't know if he's going to have time to throw it, though.
Tyreek Hill out there, wide right. Marvin Harrison left with the X on him. There's Tyreek Hill. Move those chains. Got the 3rd and 8 in there.
Great read there by Crush. And Crush has honestly played a pretty good game. He finds himself down 7, and he's not going to be getting the ball back at half. But he's honestly played a pretty well-played game. He's just got some unfortunate breaks right here.
He's bounced back nicely from down 14 early, and he continues to be great on 3rd down makes. That's one thing, if you check the stats, just pops out at you. Here's Drake again. Try to cut it back inside, not a lot there.
And Clef has made an adjustment to this run defense that I like. It looked like he may have had some space out there, but, you know, Clef's got them great defenders, able to close the gaps quickly, and now Crush is, he's going to have to pass the ball in this game. You know, Clef is one of those players, if he feels like if he can make his opponents pass, he loves his chances. And, you know, Crush is going to have to drop back and pass right here on 2nd and 8.
Ingram out there as a tight end to the right side. Baker Mayfield back.
Great read.
And Tyreek Hill reels it in.
And hey, this is the best I've seen Crush look on offense in all of the games he's played. He looks extremely confident. He's not missing any reads.
Been a smooth criminal so far.
They caught him on his defensive tackle.
Dangerous pass, and it's paddled away.
And you know that looks like a scary pass, but that's Frank Clark in coverage. You got to take your chances right there. Clef, great awareness to get back there though. Once he realized he was clicked onto his defensive end.
Keep chucking it on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it looks like Crush is, you know, he's given up on the run game. Expect him to be airing the ball out the rest of the way.
It took his one big burst from Drake. Maybe that's, if all you get in the run game, you live with it.
Looks like he is going to go back to this run. I'd like to see him not motion because it makes it so obvious he's running the ball.
First live event meeting between these two, but they know each other well. There's Drake to the outside with the 1st down.
And he's out of bounds. That's huge for Crush. He gets to preserve one of them timeouts, and now he has the full playbook at his disposal with 1:30 left in half. This is a really good situation for Crush, especially with how this game started.
115 first half yards for Kenyon Drake.
I'd like to see him go right back to this I-form tight, see if you can get on the outside with Kenyon Drake again. He's been the focal point of this offense. You know, I don't think going into this game either one of us expected that, but you know, it's been something that's worked for Crush, and I would continue to go back to it.
Remember, Crush has Harrison, Marvin Jones, Deebo Samuel. I mean, some guys he can get the ball to. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. He's running with Drake,
right.
Running well with a $1:27 left in the half. Drake again. Oh, he got slowed down. Almost turned the corner.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a touchdown, but it looked like Leighton Vander Esch was coming free again, making all the plays on defense right now for Clef. If I was Crush, I'd like that look I've seen a lot. I would go right back to it.
Vander Esch, the big ranch hand from Idaho.
Expect Crush to audible to I-form tight.
Final minute of this 2nd quarter. Crush trying to complete the comeback here. He spotted to Clef the 14-0 lead right away.
If I was Crush, I would just snap this ball. You got a really good look with that stretch to the left, but he looks like he's going to go stretch right.
Cuts inside, Drake to the house. Touchdown,
Let's
Crush.
go! You got lucky every play and you're still going to lose. You're still going to lose. You're still going to lose.
Boy, look at that from Crush.
And this is an absolute dogfight. You know, Crush really is fighting his heart out. He has got really unfortunate in this game, and he's tied it up with 44 seconds to go left in half.
That's some of the nastiest capping we've seen here in 4 days.
I know it. I said on the desk earlier, I really didn't want to see Crush go to that because this type of stuff does fuel Clef, and Clef is still in a really good spot in this game. He's got the ball right now, and he's going to be getting it at half.
Well, he has not only poked the bear, I mean, he's taken a stick and just beating him up with it here. The replay showing Drake wiggling in.
You know, great patience there by Crush. I knew he was going to audible that I-form tight. I thought he was going to run the stretch to the left, end up running it to the right. Still a great play.
Boy, from anemic to atomic for Crush in this first half to tie it up at 14.
And you know, this drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game.
And also a little bit about the personalities, too. I mean, does Clef Gronkowski the football at the feet of Crush if he comes up with a touchdown here at the end of the half?
I'm telling you, if you're Crush, you cannot give up a touchdown here before half because Clef is going to let you hear about it.
Clef gets the ball to start in the third quarter, too, we should point out. So
I don't love the adjustments here by Crush.
Jameis Winston, lofty, and Andre Reed.
Sanders is going to get there. Oh my God.
Andre Reed ripped it away.
It's every play.
Wow, you know, that's Deion Sanders, the best cornerback in the game. Crush is getting as unlucky as you can possibly get. He's got to stand up for himself. He cannot give up 7 points here. Look for Andre Reed on this curl route.
First and goal at the 9. Winston didn't get rid of it, and the ball's out, but that will get us to halftime at 14.
There's still 20 seconds left in the half. Clef is going to be able to burn one of those timeouts. If you're Crush, I would maybe play a little bit more aggressive on defense. Go for a sack right here.
Yeah, with 20 seconds left, another chance. It is Freeman.
Great tackle there by Crush. He's going to get the spike off, though. He's going to get the spike off.
5 seconds, 4, 3. So you just take your points here? I mean, you're at the 2-yard line.
You got to take your points here, and that's a really good play call by the Clef right there, knowing that he's going to be able to get the spike off. Really impressive with that play call right there. Really can't tell you enough about it, and he almost broke free for a touchdown. I would have tried to juke out maybe, but that was just a phenomenal tackle by Crush.
Boy, 2 yards away from a big-time payoff. He'll settle for the 3, and a little snap back at Crush as they got into it there towards the end. What a game. 17-14 at the break in our quarterfinal. Let's go to the desk. James standing by.
Thank you so much, Josh. For those of you interested in a big prize from Mutt's new Super Bowl promo, tune into 3 consecutive hours each day of our final day of our Madden Challenge live stream coverage for a special token. Collect 4 to earn a Super Bowl past and present fantasy pack. We will get you back to the game shortly, but first, let's listen in to CleffTheGod in our latest Audible.
Let's go, Devontae! Give me the flu! Give me the flu! Give me the flu! Get sticky! Dion! Prime time, baby! Prime time! Prime time! You can't ask for nothing better. What more you want, Clef? What more do you want in this situation? And they know
Clef having just a good old time. There you go. Start your championship run in Madden Mobile. Play Super Bowl events and earn your favorite players from Super Bowl 54 like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Richard Sherman, and more. All right, let's get you back into the second half. Clef leads 17-14. Josh Lewin, Sirius Mo on the call.
All right, thanks so much, James. It got interesting. It got noisy in that second quarter. And now let's see what Clef can do about extending a 17-14 lead. Deion Sanders has been a big player in this game because he had a pick 6 for Clef. But playing for Crush, there was a chance that his Deion Sanders had to rip a ball away at around the 9-yard line. It didn't happen.
Yeah, like I said, you know, Crush, for him to only be down 3 points in this game is extremely impressive. He's got pretty unfortunate throughout the process of this game.
Devontae Freeman, who's been in the end zone, takes a whack. And he's got 85 yards on only 4 carries here for Clef.
This is a big drive coming up for Crush. You know, you got to get off the field some way. You got to hold him to points. You cannot give up 7 right here.
Win and get in the Madden Bowl guaranteed based on points for both these guys. Here's Freeman right at the first down sticks. And just to put it in a broader context, I think, Mo, for Clef, I mean, it's kind of always a bridesmaid, never a bride in these tournaments. The second time he's been in a Final 8, lost to Goes in the quarterfinals of the Club Championship. He's knocking on the door, but he's kind of stranded on the porch.
Yeah, but he's somebody that everybody expects to make a run in one of these tournaments. He just hasn't made it yet. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the tournament, especially with how this game is going.
17-14 right now. He keeps beating Freeman, and remember, that's really his only running back. Tyreek Hill's his go-to receiver. Clef said, that guy's made me a lot of money. And kind of an unsheathed weapon so far for him. We haven't seen him go to Tyreek yet.
There you go.
Looking
Let's go,
for Reed.
Andre.
That'll work.
Let's go, Andre.
Andre Reed,
Come on,
touchdown.
Man. Is that luck? Is that luck?
You know, we've seen Deion Sanders almost make a play on the football earlier. That Derwin James just doesn't have that same speed as Deion, and Crush gets burned over the top.
Right when it got to 14-14, and Crush started getting very, very chatty. It's been 10-0 Clef ever since.
Yeah, and you know, some of it his fault, some of it not. That was a phenomenal play there by Clef.
He found Andre Reed in a big way.
They're just wide open. Clef isn't going to miss one of those reads.
All right, so this becomes, I would think, the drive of the game for Crush.
Yeah, he can't afford to get stopped right here. He's got to get points on the board. He's going to audible back to that I-form wing and run the stretch to the right here.
Motioning Tyreek Hill. Out of that Texans playbook, which is a jackpot for Crush. He loves that playbook. A lot of things you can run out of bunch. We get a timeout.
And Crush has him really uncomfortable versus the run right now. I would continuously go back to it. You know, I know you're down 2 possessions in this game, but Clef looks very uncomfortable stopping this run. He's going to audible back to that I-form wing right here.
Solid linebackers for Clef, we should point out of the Bears playbook. Not the playbook he was hoping for. He wanted the Packers or the Titans, he said. He was ready for that stretch. You were ready for it. He was ready for it.
Yeah, it looked like Clef made a last-second adjustment, audible to man-to-man, kept that safety in the box, and Adrian Amos goes up and makes a huge play.
Adrian Amos, the former Bear, the current Packer, has been all over the rosters that we've been watching here this week. Mayfield back. Only 41 passing yards so far. He can run, doesn't quite get the first down.
I loved the adjustments I've seen from Clef right there, though. It looked like he had a cornerback just blanketing that motion slant. Phenomenal job by Crush, though, to step up and run with his quarterback.
Big 3rd and 3 with Samuel in motion. Marvin Harrison seldom used. He's available and open, but Mayfield can't get rid of it.
And it looked like he was going to have that slant coming wide open, but Crush not able to buy enough time to get it to him.
Frank Clark down on top of Baker Mayfield, and on 4th and 12, this deep and with this much time left, you punt. Away from Deion Sanders, which is wise.
Yeah, not a very good punt there by Crush, though. You know, you probably could have got him to around the 25, but regardless, it doesn't matter. You got to get a stop on this drive. You cannot give up any points.
All right, so if you're Clef, I mean, are you airing it out, or are you just opening the throttle here, or are you safely running the ball?
Clef is just going to constantly take what the defense gives him.
You know who's an interested observer in this one is PK Deliverance, because if Clef wins this game, Deliverance suddenly is still alive.
Yeah, and Clef is going to be an absolute lock for that Madden Bowl if he's able to hold on to this game. And Crush, he's going to have to go straight through that LCQ if he wants to make his appearance in the Madden Bowl. So if you're Crush, you know, you didn't want this game to go this way at all. You know, some unfortunate breaks, but you still got time left in this game. You got to make a play.
And that's an important point you make too. You still have that safety valve route to get to Madden Bowl if you're Crush. If you don't rally. But you don't want to have to go there. I mean, you want to win to go forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
A 2nd and 14 stop would help. And he locks up Cooper Kupp to bring up 3rd and kind of mid-range here as we get late in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 10.
And this is the play of the game. You got to get your defense off the field. If Clef is able to burn another 2 minutes in this game, it's going to put you in a really tough spot. But if your defense can get off the field right here, you give yourself a brand new life, and you're right back in the game.
I'd actually love to have a camera on Deliverance right now. I'm sure he's pacing, roaming the halls. Suddenly the biggest Clef fan going in the world. He was not happy with himself after that 21-7 loss. The game before this one. Winston looking. Winston to the sidelines. Inbounds or out of bounds is the question. No catch.
He's going to have to punt. Great defense there by Crush. I wasn't sure if they were going to give him that possession catch on the sideline or not, but he keeps himself alive in this game. He has to go down and get 7 right here.
And Dixon thumps the punt away. Out of bounds away from Deion.
If you're Clef, you know, you kind of just want to play passive on defense right here. Make Crush use up a lot of that time. Regardless if he gets points or not, you need to see the clock burn.
Now remember, Crush had to rally late to get this far. He beat Rage 17-13 in the wild card round, had to come from behind there. Started out 0-2, losing to Bugs and Joke. He was 1-2 in his group, survived with a shutout of Little Man. Then the win against Rage. Now he's got to come back against a very determined Clef. Because you pointed it out, Mo. I mean, this guy has been so close to becoming a star.
And, you know, both these guys they're in the same boat. You know, they both have been so close, just not able to make it happen on the big stage. And this is, either one of them is going to have their opportunity today.
They are belt worthy, both of them. Drake with the push for the first down.
I'll tell you what, but the key to that play right there was that Leighton Vander Esch. He's getting off these blocks. He's making huge block sheds at crucial times to save touchdowns.
4's up, my friend. Fourth quarter presented by Snickers.
I dig because suddenly people think it's okay to talk on speakerphone in public.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Just some lady digging a giant hole.
Well, there's the camera we had hoped for on PK Deliverance. Yeah, we're throwing up 4s. He's throwing up the two hands together to pray that Clef can hang on here. And as for that man, Crush, he's not crushed if it all ends here, because again, he's got that LCQ safety rope to pull himself back, but again, it's not ideal and nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, that LCQ is going to be really tough. You know, there's only one person that comes out of that. It's going to be very difficult to be that guy.
When Crush was down 14-0, he dug down, tied it at 14, and he made the Kaplan Hall of Fame at the moment he tied it at 14. But ever since then, ever since he let loose on Clef, well, that's been Clef 10-0. Here's Drake. And he gets pounded trying to get to the outside.
And you know, the unfortunate thing about this game is it looks like Crush can get 5 to 10 yards whenever he wants running the ball, but there's just not enough time for him to continuously audible back to that run game, and he's going to have to air it out. He's going to have to get it done through the air on this possession.
Tyreek Hill's got to be the man you look at, right? That was his go-to to come back yesterday as Marvin Harrison gets to the outside, but for very little yardage.
Yeah, you gotta get this ball moving. You know, you're taking way too much clock right now. You're not getting big chunk yardage, and you're still on your own side of the field approaching the 4-minute mark. You gotta have a big play right here.
It's the number 3 out of 16 in this tournament passing guy is Crush. Loves the gun bunch, usually figures out a way. He's great on third down. So you expect a completion here, and it's Ingram who's got it.
And that's a big truck. He's going to be able to get out of bounds. That's a huge truck right there.
Saving some time.
Saving about 30 seconds in this play, in this game. You know, that's really, really big at this point.
Yeah, you need 2 scores here. Now, do you start to think if it slogs down a little bit around the 30-yard line about kicking the field goal early?
You don't want to kick it too early. I always say around the 2-minute mark.
Oh, that's batted down, and that was almost a ball game right there.
And that was a contain that almost picked that off. You know, Clef's players are playing out of their mind. I have literally never seen that in this game ever. That was an incredible play right there.
Well, User said in our pregame coverage that the clutch gene is what Clef has. He'll find a way, but he's got to stop Drake.
And you know, he's struggling to stop Drake. If you're Crush, you may have enough time to go to that run game maybe a couple more times. It just gets really scary. I love him going to the pass look right here because Clef is selling out versus the run whenever Crush is in this formation.
I'm confused as to how he's left Tyreek Hill completely alone so far. 3:21 to go.
Go get him.
No time as he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
And it looked like Crush sent him over another guy to block, and he just missed his assignment. He would have had the post route wide open, just didn't get the time to throw it again.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the Saints rookie safety out of Florida, with a huge play. And now we're down at 2:52. Baker Mayfield looking for some help. Has Samuel on the crossing route near the 20. So again, here's where I ask the question. Is it more sensible to take your 3 now because you're close enough?
I think you gotta play it out now. You're too close. You know, if it gets under maybe if it gets to about 1:40, you absolutely have to get to that field goal. But you know, I don't like Crush audibling around, taking all this time.
Well, if Clef did his homework, here's where Tyreek Hill went to the left side for a touchdown twice late in the game yesterday in the wild card round.
And Crush just took way too much time. It's so obvious he's running the ball. He's not going to score a touchdown on this play.
Well, there is the run, and as you say, the complete bottle up. And that does take you to the 2-minute warning.
But you know what this does? When you're in the red zone, you're able to quick snap that wheelbarrow out of that verticals formation, out of that verticals play in the gun bunch formation. So that's exactly why Crush went to this. The only problem is Clef knows he's going to run that. So I don't know. It's a really tough spot if you're Crush still. You know, don't force anything because you don't want to take yourself out of the game.
Boy, nothing was open. And Baker Mayfield has got a belly flop down. Clock running. 1:52 is where they stop it.
And you know, if you're Crush, you know that Clef is going to run cover 3 cloud right here. Your wheel route's not going to be open. I expect Crush to run verticals right here.
Talked about Crush being a 3rd down converting star, and there it is. There's the Tyreek Hill. There's the touchdown.
And that's a huge play. Got it out of there in the nick of time, because that was good. If he waited just another split second, that was going to get picked off. And Crush, a great way to stand up for yourself. You got to hold Clef to a 3-and-out right here.
Well, that's tight right there. You whistle that ball in there. We'd been asking, where's the Tyreek Hill pass all game? And there it was with 93 seconds to go.
Yeah, when you're down 2 possessions, those are the risks you have to take. Great read there by Crush.
Show it to you again. Boy, you know, a tight window there, but he got it.
A little bit of poor stick work there by Clef. He could have easily made the tackle, but he doesn't, and Crush sneaks in for a touchdown. Huge play.
Don't take my money, don't eat my lunch, says PK Deliverance in there.
Crush isn't set up. Inside zone's going to be a pretty good look right here if you're Clef.
Not a lot of lounging going on in the Snickers Lounge by Deliverance right now, but that'll help. Oh, Devontae Freeman is a free man. All the way downfield to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Clef.
And if you're Crush, you knew he was going to flip the play right there. You know, I probably would have audibled, but I understand it gets in a really tough spot. He just had to make a play with his user. He can't burn a timeout right there. Just an unfortunate sort of, you know, just unlucky that Crush got clicked on that outside cornerback and moved him inside, and Clef flipped the play. Great play call there by Clef.
Now, Devontae Freeman, who had a down year for the Falcons this season, has a step-up game here for Clef as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer of all things.
Yeah, it's just an easy touchdown there for Clef. Walk in.
Everything but the pom-poms in that Snickers Lounge for PK Deliverance right now.
And if you're Crush, you still got a chance in this game. You need to have a really big play.
Whoa, man, hold your breath. Marvin Harrison able to take it away and keep things alive.
Well, that's the risk you got to take.
In a 31-21 game, Leighton Van Der Esch has got it, and Clef has got it. He has locked this thing up.
Yep, and Clef is going to be in the Madden Bowl. You know, I don't love seeing that because I'm going to be taking part in that as well, and Clef, one of the better players in the world. He played a pretty good game, had a lot of things go his way in this game, but definitely a huge win there for Clef.
Tell you what, one great user's ibuprofen kicked in at the right time. He predicted there will be clutch plays made by Clef. And that's exactly what we saw. A spirited double comeback for Crush. Remember, he was down 14-0 early. He tied it. He got to within 3 late. But in the end, it's going to be too much Clef.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Clef's going to be able to knee this one out. And if you're Crush, you're just gutted right now.
Well, friends at the end. Although, boy, we heard some loud talking from Crush at one point.
You know, but that's the things you love to see in Madden, competitive Madden. You know, guys chirping back and forth, but after the game, it's always all love. And if you're Crush, you're just sick. You know, you feel like you played good enough to win. The game kind of just took it away from you.
Madden Bowl bound for Clef.